In today's video, I want to talk about the rumors that Demon's Souls Remake might possibly be a launch title, as it has been rated in the Korean ratings board, and usually that points to a game's release being not necessarily imminent, but also not very far off. Well, Imran Khan, reputable, kind of funny personnel, did talk a little bit about it, so I want to go over what he said. Also, Gamescom is right around the corner. Yes, this is something that kind of just crept up on us out of nowhere, but it'll be happening on August 27th, next Thursday, and Jeff Keighley gave us a little bit of an update on that. And Sakuna Rice of Rice and Ruin is a game that I think a lot of people should have their eyes on. It looks like an artistically beautiful title. We'll go over some of the gameplay details that have been revealed for that in just a little bit. But first of all, Demon's Souls Remake may be a PlayStation 5 launch title or a launch window title, as the developer has always been targeting launch and launch window. This is something that I've been saying for quite a while, even prior to the Korean ratings board thing. Bluepoint Games have been actively working on this game for a very, very long time. I imagine either going back to the release of SOTC on the PlayStation 4, that being in early 2017, or maybe even a little bit before that. They were in the pre-planning stage, because I don't think they've put out anything major since then. I would imagine that the development studio has still been at hard work, and I would imagine that Demon's Souls Remake was the major game they were working on. Well, now with the Korean ratings board listing, that adds more fuel to the fire. And somebody tweeted at Imran Khan noting, "Hey Imran, people are going crazy over Demon's Souls being rated in Korea with Spider-Man, and they think it's a launch title. Is it possible for Demon's Souls to be a launch title, or we're just going crazy?" Khan responded, "I doubt if only for COVID reasons, but I don't think it's off the table. As far as I know, they had always been targeting launch or launch window." Now, launch window would suggest somewhere around that 4 to 6 month period after the launch of the PlayStation 5 itself. Infamous Second Son in particular was always labeled as a launch window title, and that didn't come out until March of 2014, while the PlayStation 4 released in November of the prior year. Demon's Souls, in my opinion, is one of those games that if you can somehow get it for the launch day of the PlayStation 5, that's absolutely enormous, because while I wouldn't say that it has the name value of, let's say, a Marvel Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, what Demon's Souls does have going for it is that people that are fans of Souls are crazy about Souls, to the point that people that are fans of Souls but weren't sure about buying a PlayStation 5 day one, they will completely reverse that tune, and then they will buy a PlayStation 5 day one on the basis that Demon's Souls Remake is there on launch day. Now, I don't think it's imperative that any game is really on launch. I think it's imperative for Sony to have a strong launch. However, I think the console is going to be selling out regardless. I think the hype is there at this point. People are ready for a new console, and all of the social media metrics, which isn't the best barometer to gauge, but it is so freaking crazy how well the PlayStation 5 is doing on things like, Instagram likes, Google searches, if you look at Google Trends, and all of those various metrics. Now, generally speaking, if you have one metric that's doing really well, that doesn't tell you a lot. However, when it's all of these different metrics in conjunction telling you one thing, you have to buy into that a little bit. And I'm led to believe that the PlayStation 5 is going to be a colossally successful console. At the very least, at launch, it's going to sell out right away. And yeah, if you're aiming to get one, I've been saying it for a long time, but you got to be on your toes about that. Otherwise, you're going to be paying those disgusting eBay scalper prices, and nobody really wants to be doing that. And on top of that, if Sony does actually deliver a high-quality launch, like let's say it's Spider-Man Miles Morales, let's say my theory of SOCOM being a reboot and being a launch title is there as well, and let's say Demon's Souls Remake, yo, get out of here. That is a crazy launch, and again, I'll just keep going back to the PlayStation 4 launch being pretty terrible, with Killzone Shadowfall and Knack, and then a bunch of, cross-gen titles. Something like what I just said would absolutely blow away the PS4 launch, and honestly, the majority of launch lineups in history. Going back to the PS3 launch, that launch wasn't anything special. Yeah, we had Resistance, but we also had Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire. So you gotta take the good with the bad as far as that's concerned. Alright, moving on from that, Gamescom opening night live will show over 20 games. Gamescom 2020 is coming up. Typically, it is held in Germany. However, obviously, since the world is in a catastrophe of sorts recently, it won't be happening in Germany in a live venue. However, it will be happening online. Jeff Keighley's latest update offered a better sense of scope. For example, we know it'll feature over 20 games. When Gamescom opening night live comes, you'll want to clear around a 2-hour block. The media briefing will last just about that long. Current and next-gen games will both appear. Some of the titles have appeared, will be announced by Keighley and Summer Game Fest ahead of the event. I imagine that there's going to be a lot of crossovers in terms of games that have been already revealed, but we might get new gameplay, and I'm sure there is going to be a bevy of games making their announcements for the first time. Hopefully we get some release dates. At this point, We kind of have an idea of what's coming this holiday. However, the thing that's annoying me at this point is we don't have any clarity as far as what's coming when. Like, is Tales of Arise going to be coming this fall? Bandai Namco is going to be at this event. Is Tales of Arise going to be a fall title? Well, that's another game that I believe has been rated recently. If we can get that for holiday 2020, yo, count me in on that. I'm down for another big JRPG. As, you know, early this year, JRPGs were hot and heavy. However, the latter portion of this year, it's not looking as exciting. However, if we can throw in a Tales of Arise, that'd be great. But the fall is looking to have some great games in it, especially given the fact that we are in unparalleled times, and the fact that a lot of these studios are just getting their games done, the fact that we are getting new consoles in this pandemic era, I think that's absolutely insane, and kudos to a lot of them. We know Bandai Namco, Microsoft, and Sega already all confirmed that they would be a part of Gamescom 2020. I would imagine Sony would be there in some form, and I would imagine the majority of major publishers and developers will be at the event. Gamescom 2020, or Gamescom in general, I should say, is kind of seen as a secondary E3 event. It's really at that level. It's Gamescom, there's Paris Games Week, Tokyo Game Show, E3. Those are kind of like the 4 pillar events of the year, showcasing a plethora of gameplay reveals and updates. Lastly, I do want to talk a little bit about Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. This is a game that I think you should absolutely have on your radar. It looks fantastic from a visual standpoint. I don't really know what to compare it to. Maybe like a Vanillaware title is what I would say, but this game is shaping up to be really, really good. From a visual standpoint, it looks excellent, being done by Xseed, and it's got a slick aesthetic presentation, and they did go over some of the action details of the game. Action includes standard attacks. Standard attacks can be performed via simple button inputs using your farming tools, as well as weapons to defeat the demons that rule over the island. Heavenly Scarf traversal. Reach distant areas by extending your Heavenly Scarf to latch onto walls and ceilings. Special attacks. Unleash powerful special attacks that deplete your skill gauge. They have various effects, including high power blows and combo attacks. The skill gauge will restore over time. Heavenly Scarf attacks as well. Latch onto enemies with your scarf to instantly swing around them and even pull them in and launch them away. Stage mechanics. There are various stage mechanics, including lava cascades that set you ablaze upon touch, and water spheres that you can swim in to move. Utilize these mechanics to deal damage to enemies and demon beasts. A day and night cycle. You've got objectives, difficulty, a selection, so you can play it exactly how you want to. And I should note, as far as day and night goes, at night enemies will be more capable. Well, you should not try to overdo it, since there is a lesser field of vision at night. You might be able to get better materials than during the daytime. So a lot of layers to the gameplay and presentation of the game. This one will be out later this year, so be on the lookout for that specifically. It will be out November 20th in Europe and Australia, November 10th in North America, November 12th in Japan, PS4, Switch, and PC. So that's going to conclude this video. Again, Demon's Souls Remake may end up being a PlayStation 5 launch window title. Would be very exciting if that comes to fruition. Gamescom opening night live will show over 20 games, and Sakuna of Rice and Ruin looks like a fantastic game. Definitely keep that on your radar. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.